Hello and welcome back to MAD Sports Network with myself, Devo, and Combat Chris in the house, looking suave as ever. This is a special bit of content that we've put together here. We're going to do the best 11 from match day 1 across the competition, across the Euros. Hopefully we could do this after every match day through till the final, when it'll become a lot more harder to do this because obviously two teams. It's more difficult, isn't it? Chris, you know what? Let's just get this out of the way first, because you know you have to do this when you do YouTube. You have to do, please subscribe and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be done. It's very important, though, because it means a hell of a lot to us. So please subscribe to the channel, MAD Sports Network. Pop that in Google, pop that in YouTube in the search function, and we will come up. Hit the notification bell to keep yourselves up to date with what we're doing, because although this is a Euros show, we do cover many sports, and we continue to do so even while the Euros are on. You'll find UFC. That's on today, right? Guard Pass is on today. Yes, Guard Pass is on today. So yeah, Chris, tell me about the Guard Pass quick.
The Guard Pass is on at 9 p.m. tonight. We run it every 2 weeks on Thursday at 9 p.m. and it is back tonight. We will be talking the big UFC event from last weekend, and particularly that Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards fight. Tune in, folks.
Yeah, I haven't seen the fight, but I've seen the state of Nate Diaz's face.
He's a warrior. Yeah, he's a gangster. He comes to fight, and that's all you can ask for as a fight.
That's what he does. That's what he does. You can follow us also on the socials, Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. They're all going across the bottom of the screen right there. Okay, so the premise of this show, as I said at the beginning, we're going to select the best 11, and this is from the players who we believe have performed the best over the first match day. We are going to do it using one of these here. Hold on a second. I'm going to share my screen. First time I've done this. This is usually Gav's job. Let's see if I mess it up. Here we go. So,
oh, look at that.
Look at that, right? Straight in. We've gone with 4-3-3, the both of us. We chose that formation between us. So shall we start from goalkeeper, work our way through to the top? What do you reckon?
Yes, absolutely. Let's get the boring positions out of the way first and then go for the fashionable ones at the end. I like it.
Okay, so Chris, I'll allow you to go first. Who have you chosen in net?
I don't think it can be anyone. We were just discussing beforehand. I don't think it can be anyone aside from Leicester's substitute keeper, Mr. Ward of Wales. He has been outstanding. I know this is only match day 1. Obviously, Wales played yesterday as well. He was outstanding again. But just based on the Switzerland performance alone, he got them a point out of that game. There's absolutely no doubt about it. People will look to Moore. People will look to Ramsey, who looked incredible that game. But it was Ward for me, who was the best player on the park. So he's got to be in there.
Yeah, I've also gone for Danny Ward as well. I've for precise reasons, for like what you said, to be honest. Oh, what's going on there? Well, I've gone left back. Goalkeeper.
Sticking left back. He's been that good. He could probably play left back as well, mate. He could probably play left back.
I'm trying to think if there's any other goalkeepers who I thought, possibly Hradecki, saved the pen, made some big saves in that game. But I think Danny Ward overall throughout the entire game performed better.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah.
Right, shall we do right back next?
Yeah, I'll let you go with this one, mate. I'm interested to see what you say.
For right back, I've gone for Dumfries, the Dutch right back. I think he was excellent against Ukraine, constantly available on the right-hand side as a constant threat to Ukraine going forward. Probably should have had a hat-trick. Scored the winner, but also very switched on defensively as well. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this guy. I've never seen him play before. I was very impressed with his performance against the Ukraine.
Yeah, I 100% back that. Apparently before the game, he was going to Everton. Not anymore. Not anymore. He's played himself out of a move to Merseyside, to the Blue Half of Merseyside. Josh off 4-1, he'll kill me for that. Sorry, mate. But Denzel Dumfries, he was outstanding. Again, the best player on the park in that game. What a game it was as well. Just end-to-end madness. But yeah, he took his goal well as well. To think a right back could have had a hat-trick. Crazy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anyone who even come close to Dumfries in that first game week. I think Soufal had a great game against Scotland.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's no one that really stands out in my mind. So yeah, Dumfries, unanimous. Left back. Who have you gone for left back?
I've gone for Spinazzola. I believe he was the man of the match for Italy against Turkey, regardless. But again, in a game, I think it's one N and then A and then double Z. There you go. Leonardo Spinazzola. But in a game full of superstars for Italy, I mean, what a start they got off to. No one really predicted that. Everyone was saying Turkey were going to be dark horses. When I say everyone, I mean me. And I couldn't have been any more wrong. He was fantastic. He was a constant, he's a constant menace down that left-hand side forward. Defensively, he was absolutely outstanding. He just didn't put a foot wrong the entire game. Great performance, great player.
Yeah, I picked Spinazzola as well. I don't know what the Italians are on, but they have some sort of endless energy for 90 minutes. It's just, I know this is match day 1, but against Switzerland, it's a long time since I've seen anything like that in international football. It was just constant movement from the Italians. They were everywhere. It was almost like they had 22 players on the pitch. Like they were doubling up on the Swiss at every opportunity. Yeah. And against the Turks, everyone was going how bad the Turks were. But having seen Italy against Switzerland, it was how good were the Italians. More 100%. So. Centre-backs. Who have you gone for your centre-back pairings?
I have gone for, and I'll sum these up very quickly, I've gone for Lindelof because I thought he was probably in a very defensively minded Sweden. And the manager came out after the game, and rightly so. He was like, look, in that heat against that Spanish side who are so good at retaining the ball, that was a perfect result for us. And I completely agree. I think it was a great point for Sweden. And Lindelof was the standout player for me. Defensively, he was, again, rock solid, just like Spinazzola, didn't put a foot wrong. And next to him, I've gone with Skriniar. I thought he was absolutely outstanding in their game the other day and got the winner with a well-taken finish. Any striker would have been happy with that. So what can you say? If you have a good game as a defender, that's great. If you get a goal as well to add on top of that, that is the cherry on the icing of the cake. So he's got to be in there for me. Well. Exactly.
This is the first time where we've come up with a different player. I went for Skriniar as well, but I've also gone for Varane. From I did not see the France-Germany game. From what I heard and from what I read, he was a rock. But because I haven't seen it, I'm going to go with Lindelof. I did see that game. So Victor Lindelof, I think he's centre-back partner as well. Danielson had a great game as well. Yeah. Considering he plays in China, it's probably quite a big step up in quality, and he seemed at home. Right, into the midfield. So we're going to go, let's see, centrally of the three, I suppose. So the more defensive one out of your three.
Ooh, do you know what? I don't think it can be anyone other than Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
I think he was, I mean, what a performance. To introduce yourself onto the international side. I know he's played for England before, but at a major tournament, to introduce yourself onto the major stage like that. And the run and pass for the goal was outstanding. Take nothing away from Sterling. It was a fantastic finish under pressure, but Calvin Phillips he just ran the midfield. And against players, that we're talking about before the game, who were so good at keeping the ball in Croatia, they got players across that midfield who were absolutely fantastic. Obviously spearheaded by Luka Modric, who might just be the best, most suave player on the ball in the world of all time. Phillips just did not look out of his depth at all.
Yeah, it was a very commanding performance from Calvin Phillips. And, before the tournament, me and Gav went through 10 players who we thought would have breakout tournaments. Being in England, we didn't mention any English players, but Calvin Phillips could very well have that type of tournament and become a household name across Italy, Germany, wherever else. Great performance from him. Okay, so our other, let's say on the left-hand side of the three, doesn't really matter left or right, but it's just highlighted. So who have we got?
I'll let you go with these, mate. I'm interested to see what you think, because I don't know how you've chosen, whether you've just chosen the best three midfielders or you've tried to get a little bit of balance and chemistry in there. I've tried to go for a little bit of chemistry and balance.
I've gone for the best, but also it's worked itself out to be quite balanced. Just because, not by design, but it's just worked out that way. So
Excellent.
my other two, I've gone for Pogba and Barea. I think
we've
Barea
disagreed
was.
on one.
Oh yeah. I
On.
think Barea was just immense against Turkey. He controlled the game, controlled the tempo for Italy, was constantly available. Again, I know we're just doing the first match day, but again, against Switzerland, the same thing, constantly available. It's like no one could pick him up. He's so intelligent. He just finds little gaps, gets the ball, pops it forward, sets them on their way. I thoroughly enjoy watching players like him. Like you were saying about Modric, the only problem is Modric didn't really have enough time and space high up the pitch to affect it that way. Barea has had that in the 2 games that I've seen him in. So I've gone for Pogba and Barea.
I've gone for Pogba. I think Pogba has to be a shoo-in. He was the standout player in the Germany-France game. I'm going to side with you. I think Brea should get in there ahead of who I chose, which was Wijnaldum. I thought Wijnaldum was excellent for the Netherlands the other night. The shackles were off him a little bit because in that Liverpool system, he's very much, this is your role and this is what we need of you. When the shackles come off and you realise just how good a player Wijnaldum is and can be. But I do think Brea, he 100% deserves to be in there for the reasons you said, mate. No question.
Yeah. It's funny with Wijnaldum, isn't it? Because when he plays for Holland, you see him as such a different player. It's like the old, like before he went to Newcastle, when he was at Feyenoord, I believe it was, and he was just banging goals for fun. And then all of a sudden it just goes to show how good he is as a midfielder, that he can understand different roles and play them well. Right, up front, me personally, I've not played any wide players. I've just shoehorned 3 strikers into this formation.
Yes, it's the only way.
So one who I think is going to be in both of our teams is Romelu Lukaku.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just think this guy is on top form of his life. Criminally underrated striker. Even at Man United, he was scoring goals. He was missing chances and miscontrolling the ball, but he's still scoring goals. He ended up their top goal scorer in that season. And this Lukaku is 10 times better than that Lukaku.
Yeah.
Just a machine, a goal scoring machine at the moment. Patrick Schick, I've gone as well.
Yeah. Just for that
goal. If only for that goal, yeah. Feels dirty putting a check in team, but such is life. And the last spot, I've gone for Immobile.
Yeah, this is interchangeable, this. I think Immobile was a menace the entire game against Turkey, and he thoroughly deserves his goal. And I was quite happy for him because he's always, I believe that's his first ever goal at a major tournament for Italy. And he's always had criticism across his career of, you can do it in Serie A, like absolutely no problems. But when that step up occurs, he's just not quite there. And I feel like this could potentially be the tournament where he shows just how good a player he is. I went for Mbappe. I thought Mbappe was outstanding against Germany. Very unlucky not to get a goal. I mean, the finish for even though he's disallowed, the finish for the goal was just Mbappe all over. I mean, what can you say about him that's not already been said? He's a superstar. He's one of the best players in the world. He showed just how good he was against Germany the other night in a France performance where I felt like they didn't even really go through the gears. That's a scary thing. Yeah. It's difficult to choose who to put in out of Mbappe and Immobile. It really is interchangeable. I don't know who you could pick. I think you could pick one or the other based on the performance, just the performance alone in the first games.
I've gone for Mbappe to give the team a bit more balance. So I've gone for Kylian Mbappe. I think obviously he can play wide, does kind of drift into channels and stuff like that. Immobile and Lukaku pretty much do the same thing. So that's our team. Just download that now. So let's get rid of this and take it back here. Here we go. So that's our team. We've worked out between us a team of round 1. Let's see if I can just pop that up here. 1 second.
Get that bad boy back on the screen.
Yeah, 1 second.
Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
It's a great team, though. it's a great team based on, you know, performances, all of them, every single one on that team. Sometimes you can be quite unlucky in a first round because you get like 6 or 7 standout players, and then others you kind of just, like you said before, you have to shoehorn players in. You think, well, he had a decent game, and every single one on that 11 there, all of them, 10 out of 10 performances, really risen to the occasion. It's been a great tournament so far. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the second round of matches now, and these players in particular.
Yeah, I think it's been a brilliant tournament so far. And when you consider the amount of football that's been played, and you know just how tired some of these players probably are, I think it's, you know, really commendable that they've been able to put in the performances they have. And as you said, looking forward to the second round of games. It usually picks up in the second round of games before it kind of drops off in the third, when teams are already through and they start playing the reserves, as it were.
Yeah.
But yeah, this second round of games, obviously yesterday we had great game, Russia-Finland, another great game in Wales-Turkey, and then the Italians put on, I would say, a better performance than their first performance against Turkey, and just look immense. And today, I think the Denmark-Belgium game is going to be very strange. It's going to be really weird kind of atmosphere, and I really don't know if Denmark are going to use what happened as fuel to kind of fuel themselves forward, or if it's just going to play a bit too much in their mind and they're not going to be able to turn up. And then Ukraine, North Macedonia, I think that game is also going to be a bit of a treat. North Macedonia, very passionate side, impressed me in the first game, although they lost pretty handsomely in the end. And Ukraine were very unlucky.
Yeah.
And then obviously Dutch take on Austria, another brilliant fixture.
That's an outstanding game. I'm really looking forward to that. North Macedonia, Goran fucking Pandev. He just doesn't go away. He's 74 years old and he's just banging them in still. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can do it again. So that's it from this show, which was our best 11 for the first match day from the Euro 2020 or 2021, whichever you prefer to call it. I've been joined by Combat Chris. Thank you very much for your input. And I'm glad that we kind of basically had the same 11. It just goes to show that it's undisputed how good some of these players have been. We'll be back later on today with the guard pass. You'll see more of the lovely Chris Collins on your TV screen or your phone screen or your iPad or your PC, wherever it is you choose to watch. And we'll be back with another Euro roundup in the morning, 8 a.m, nice and early. And we cannot wait to see you there. So from me and from Chris, it's arrivederci.